Okay, cough. Okay, thanks everybody for showing up today. It's a lovely Friday here in North Texas. It's only 80 something degrees, soon to be 100, but hopefully not as hot wherever you may be. Okay, so today we're going to give a really brief introduction into connecting Power BI with Dynamic CRM Online. So I'm going to say right up front, I am not a Power BI expert. I just got it working. I want to show you guys what the capabilities are because I got a feeling this is going to be something really, really big in our future. So I want to kind of expose you to it. We'll do some digging around live here at the end of the thing. So if you've actually worked with Power BI, I would love to hear what you guys have had to say. So right, what you've seen, what you've done, stuff like that. Okay, my name is Mitch Milam, of course. I'm a dynamic CRM architect and independent consultant and trainer, also a 10-time MVP. You can reach me via email at mitchxrm.coaches. My main blog is infinite-x.net. I'm on Twitter, and if you want to get a hold of me on LinkedIn, you can just go to tinyurl.com/mitchmilam LinkedIn, or just look me up if you do a search. So I'd love to connect with you any way that you wish. July webinars, I think we're going to be like the second and third weekend. It's kind of holiday season for everybody, so I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out, what the topics may be. So as always, if you got topics you'd like to hear about, then please let me know. I may go ahead and send out another email to everybody to ask what they want to see. I've kind of gone through most of the big ones everybody voted on a couple of months ago. So a little bit of webinar housekeeping here. You've probably already used this. Most of you I see have been on here for a while. If you want to talk, just raise your hand, and I'll let you unmute you there when we get to the Q&A part. Webinars, you can find them at xrmcoaches.com/webinars. So as soon as this session gets over, I will post a recording up to YouTube. I'll send everybody an email as a follow-up so that you have that. Don't forget to sign up for Knowledge Bits if you haven't. So those are just email delivery tips and tricks for various topics that I have. I've got several learning plans already released under free stuff. Also, I got a couple more coming out on .NET and a few other things. And again, still working on my books. I should have those done in the next 60 days or so. So really excited to get those out the door. Okay, so basically, we're going to just real simple here. We're going to do an overview of what it is, and we're just going to dig right in. So that's pretty much what we're doing today. So first off, what is Power BI? It is an extension of, but not a replacement for, SQL Server reporting services. It's made for large data sets. It is not a transactional reporting system. In other words, it's not rows and columns. That's what SSRS does for you. So that's the big delineator right there. If you still need row and column reports, that's SSRS for you. Okay. This is to actually collect and analyze data at a large scale, either data inside CRM or otherwise. Some of the things it does not have, it does not have granular security like CRM does, so it does not apply CRM security to things. So if you think you're going to get that when you look at the Power BI stuff, you're not. It also does not, at this point, drill down into CRM like the charts and visualizations within CRM does itself. That is supposed to be coming soon, my understanding. Now, soon is the next few months probably. Kind of interesting about it, there are actually two products here. So we're going to talk about Power BI Web, which is just called Power BI. So that's the website that we go through. It's mainly for building models and creating visuals or visualizations. It's evidently updated weekly. So again, with all Microsoft products, they're now headed to the web. So they've been delivering weekly updates. Power BI Desktop is for creating visuals and then models and sharing those with other people, and it's updated every month. And again, this is an actual Windows application that you download and install. They have a Pro version. So this is Microsoft's answer to, if you have the money, we have the time. The standard or the free version, you get a gigabyte of data. The Pro, you get 10. Pricing is free for the standard. Pro is $10 a month. You can change your frequency of refresh from daily to hourly if you want, maximum rows per thing, and then just some other connectivity and collaboration tools are built into the Pro version and not built into the standard version. So basically, with any of these cloud things, start off with the free version. As soon as you get to the point where you really need those extra features, that's when you start to pay for it. So let's get started. So Power BI is just another application found on your Office 365 dashboard. So if you have a 365 subscription, you probably have access to it. So it's right there in the middle. It's yellow, as you can see. When you launch it, it will open this page and ask you to what do you want to do. We can connect to My Organization, which is content packs that people of your organization or yourself have created and published. We're going to work with the services, which will allow us to connect to Dynamic CRM Online. If you do a search under services for Dynamic CRM, what you will find is 2 dashboards that the CRM team created, and then 1 dashboard that the folks at Click Dimensions created for looking at data inside of their application. Okay, so if you guys use Click Dimensions, this is available to you, and I'm going to show. We're going to be working with all of these today. So what you do is you pick one of those. Like if we want to do Sales Manager, we could click on that. It's going to ask you to put in information about your CRM service. So it has kind of tips in there. So it's your standard URL that you would access. So company name.crm.dynamics.com if you're in North America, or CRM, 1 through 8 if you're somewhere else. Number of the month the physical year ends. In many places it's 12. So it would be December. So you put that in and click Next. Then you have to put in the URL and the authentication method. In this case, we're going to be using OAuth2, which is what the OData endpoint, which is that URL at the top. So we're going to select that, and when we sign in, it's going to ask us to actually go back to the top of our slide deck, which is not where I wanted to go. Sorry about that. It's just going to pop up our standard login box that we've seen, if we're working CRM Online forever. So you just go ahead and log in. It will record your information and store that somewhere safely. So let's take a look at a couple of dashboards that we install. So here's the Sales Manager dashboard. So you have these blocks are called tiles. So you have tiles that are just numbers that are summaries. We have graphs of different types. Here we have a circle graph, a funnel chart, and then a couple of maps. The Service Manager is very similar. We have a map and then various different things related to cases or SLAs or customer satisfaction, things like that. So these are all, again, predefined by Microsoft in this dashboard, and of course you can create your own. You can set your feature dashboard after you install it. So you click on the little ellipsis button, and the last thing is set feature dashboard. So if you have several dashboards and you want one to pop up every time, you just go to set feature dashboard, just like you would in CRM for the preferred view of your CRM system. A couple things you can do with the data set. So we have dashboards, reports, and data sets. So the data set is actually the data itself. So you can schedule a refresh if you want. You can refresh it now. You can move it to Excel to analyze it. Again, the refresh schedule is going to be based on your subscription level. So if we just have the standard, it can be refreshed once a day. You pick the time zone and the time frame. In other words, this is from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, so that basically gives you a 6-hour period. And then if there's some kind of failure, you can always have it email you should the failure happen. You want to know about it. Desktop is a little bit different. So again, it's a Windows application you install. You install it, and then you can either get the help stuff, which is in the middle, or click on the Get Data to actually open up other data sources. We have a wide variety of stuff. So again, this is not just for CRM. Actually, it's not just for Microsoft. As you can see, we have everything from SharePoint to Salesforce to GitHub, MailChimp, Marketo, things like that. Smartsheet. Okay, so all of these things are data sources that we can actually pull data from into Power BI to do analysis on it. And again, that's the key to Power BI as you're doing your analysis. So we're going to select CRM Online in this case. Then we basically have to sign in. So the process to sign in is very similar. We put in our URL there. We click on the sign in button. It asks us for our credentials. And then assuming everything works, it's going to display the list of data sets that we have available to us as a CRM administrator or customizer. So everything ends in the word set. So as you can see here, I have contact set. Earlier, I'd also selected account set so that it would be loaded as well. I click on load, and it will physically download the data and put it into a Power BI database. So here is what Power BI stuff looks like inside of CRM. So the first thing we have to do is go turn it on. It's just a system setting. It's under the reporting tab. It's at the bottom. It says allow Power BI tile embedding. And what that lets us do is put a Power BI tile inside of our dashboard system, just like we would a regular visualization within CRM. So set that to yes, save that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go and create a new personal dashboard. You cannot add Power BI tiles to system dashboards at this time. So this has to be a personal dashboard. So in the I should have had a picture of the big picture, but when you create a new dashboard, you end up with blocks that represent the layout you want. In the middle of those blocks is a series of icons that allow you to add specific things like charts or lists or iframes or web pages or etc. There's a new one, which is the Power BI icon. When you click on that, you get the dialog on the right. And what you do is you select the dashboard that you want, you select the tile that you want, and you click OK, and you are done. One of the cleanest implementations of integration between two Microsoft products that I've ever seen in my entire career. Okay, and it ends up looking like this. Okay, so this is the actual dashboard itself once it runs. So the icons in the upper right hand corner, we can refresh, we can actually open it up into Power BI, the second one here in the middle, or we can expand it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So this is basically a merger of the dashboard technology of CRM, so we can embed a Power BI tile within CRM along with all of our other data. So what I see this used for is if we're not having, if we kind of bypassed or kind of exceeded the visualization capabilities of CRM with their charting capabilities, then we would go out to Power BI, create the data set, create the kind of tile we want with the visualization like this map here, and embed that inside of our dashboard. And then that would be how we would go. Okay, a couple of tips. As I mentioned earlier, this stuff in Power BI is updated extremely frequently. Like I said, the web is updated every week. The desktop version is updated monthly. So you really and truly need to use a date filter. Like if you're using Google or Bing search, specify a date, maybe like the last 12 months. Nothing older than that, because what will happen is you'll get a then there are really good articles out there that show you how to do stuff that no longer matter anymore. They just basically they've moved things around, or the process is different, or things like that. So it's changing so fast, you really kind of have to pay attention to what the data is. Otherwise, you're just going to spend time reading data that doesn't matter. Okay, so just make sure when you're searching for that. When in doubt, call Scott. Okay, I didn't put his email up there, even though he said I could. I think he was joking, but I'm not going to take that chance. He is another MVP. He is a Power BI guru in training. He's been doing a lot of work with Power BI and Dynamic CRM. He works for Hitachi. Very nice guy. You can find him on Twitter at Scott Sewell. That's his smiling face right there. So go hit him up with any of your questions. Tell him that I sent you. So there you go. That'll serve him for volunteering. So, any questions so far? Nope. Okay, let's go play around with this thing. Okay, so this is the web interface. As you can see, we got a navigation on the left-hand side. We have, again, our dashboards, our reports, and our data sets. The way that we add a new dashboard is by clicking the Get Data button at the bottom. Then, as I showed you in the slide, click on Services, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and search for Dynamics CRM. But as you can see, if you have any of these other products, you can pull data out of those products, okay? And I think that is really where everything's starting to shine. See, we've got AX already built in, a couple CRM, Dynamics Marketing, NAV, Project Online, Project Madeira, QuickBooks Online, all of these things. It's like, what, 50 of them here? So this is really, getting populated fairly quickly. So if I do a search for Dynamics CRM, I'm going to load the Sales Manager dashboard. So I can just click the Get button. And it takes a few minutes. And what it's actually doing is actually going to download the data and then create the dashboard and assemble everything. So I am at HTTP. Sorry, I have a $2 keyboard that came with the computer I have, so I can't type right now. I apologize. Dev train 1. Oops, you know what? I combined that. That's wrong. Sorry about that. crm.dynamics.com. Now you know my password. Don't go out there and screw anything up. It's only good for another week or two. Okay, we're going to do an OAuth 2. Now that is fascinating. Huh. Well, that's a good way to break a demo. Supported for this data source. I'll tell you what, let me go back. Did I do this right? Oops. Okay. HTTPS June Dev Train 1. I must have typed the URL in wrong. Okay. Okay, standard OAuth procedure. Thanks, Ron. HBS, sorry. And he asked about is Power BI available for 2016 only. I don't know for sure about that. I think the difference is this dashboard is connecting to that URL that you see. That is what they call the web API endpoint. Okay, the other CRM endpoint uses a different URL. So I'm not positive. What you may have to do is actually use the desktop version to create stuff and then publish it up, and it should be okay. That's my understanding. John asked, how do dashboards scale if you cannot create system dashboards? Well, again, remember I told you everything changes week to week, so that's just what we have to deal with right now. So this is a thing between the CRM team and the Power BI team. You can always, what I would do, if it's a problem, share it with the business unit team or the org team, and that's one share, and that takes care of everybody. Okay, so here's a new dashboard. Right now, it's still blank because it's still loading data, but it comes back fairly quickly. And so basically, as soon as it populates, you'll have stuff to do. Here is what the Service Manager dashboard looks like. You saw from the screenshot. They have some samples if you want to see what different things look like. And these are actually fairly quick to load. And we know I'm not using the Pro version. I've just got this to show off, so I'm not spending any time on it right now. And I don't actually have anybody using this yet with stuff, even though I have one customer who I think might start using it once they get to 2016 probably. Okay, so here's all these dashboards. Let's go see if that's finished. Not quite. Go see. Oops. Nope. So we've got a collection of dashboards already built in. You can look at stuff. You can drill into stuff, make it bigger. So what I'm going to do here, this is one of the cases where I tell you to go get your CEO because this is actually kind of fascinating. So this is a basically a spending chart. So there is a field that they don't have populated called play axis, which is going to be down here at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go specify the month, and I'm going to drag that down here. Oops. And it gave me this thing here. So what I can do is I can look from month to month what my sale or what my IT spend is. Okay. As you see up here, now we know our data set's ready that we just downloaded, so we'll close that and go back and look at it in just a second. So I can scan through this and watch the data move, or if I like movies, which I do, I click on the play button, and it will show me how that thing moved over time. Now, this is not a very good example because we have a small data set, but if you have a larger data set and maybe a larger period of time, like this is 12 months, it actually would be much more dramatic. So, like I said, this is actually pretty cool. It kind of helps you figure out where things are going visually, and a lot of people work better like that. Christian asked about on-premise. I could not find, Christian, the document that told you how to do that. I know it can be done. I just couldn't find the link that I was going to tell everybody how to do it. So I have heard people discussing it, but I don't know what happens. I think you have to have a what they call a connector gateway to actually get connected. And once you do that, you can connect with it. But like I said, I haven't actually seen the document. I looked around, couldn't find it anywhere. But first and foremost, you would have to have either a connection to the SQL Server directly, or you would have to have some kind of IFD connection to your SQL Server. Okay, so here's our new dashboard. Save my changes. Okay, so here's the new sales dashboard. So again, we can go and open these things up and take a look around. We can say I want to see the data, so that will show me things here. So I can actually hover, if you hover over one of these data points, so if you can barely see that, there's a circle right there. So that's the data point. So there gives me the country, and there's 290,000 in revenue. Over here in Japan, we have $5.14 million in revenue. We have a filter capability over here, so we can filter a visual level, a page level, and a report level, so we can just change the way that we're seeing these things. So we can change the, if it's one, we can change the state of province. So say we only, let me go country first. Say we only want to see maybe Australia. We can see Australia, which is 0. Go back to me, has something. Okay. How about this data thing here? They got US and USA, the same thing. Okay. You can drill down into this stuff. So we're drilling down here. So now we're going by state. Fascinating enough, I never actually heard this term before. We can actually drill back up to where we came from. Okay, and the whole idea behind this is just like you changing the view in Excel. It's just you're filtering the data view to match whatever criteria you want. Like I created this heat map earlier today. Sorry, up here. Here's a heat map of all of the contacts that I have based on the state. If I want to see the data, here's that, and then I can basically just click through it and filter. It's like, okay, if I want to filter on stuff, and this is kind of a bad example, but this lets me kind of see, okay, most of my customers are in California. Got 1,000 customers, followed by Texas, followed by everybody else. So large on the left, small on the right. Munir says they were testing with Power BI and discovered that there's a limitation where you can't use data from custom entities or even custom fields on default entities. I don't know. I tell you what, let's go check real quick. So let's go down to the data sets for the site heat map. So this came out of a custom entity. Now the question is, did we add custom fields to this? So INT, those are custom. Munir, that's a good question. I thought that they had fixed that, but I do not know if they fixed it and it hasn't been released yet, or that they were fixing it. I honestly don't know. Let me go back to account set. I thought some one of those had custom fields. I don't see any custom fields. Those INT fields are technically custom, but they're also technically Microsoft. Yeah, that's a good question. It looks like right now that is maybe still true, but like I said, I thought I saw somebody in the press the other day said that they had fixed that. And I'm not sure if it would matter if it was a free or pro version, because like I said, the free or pro version is, I don't think, specific to CRM. It's just specific to Power BI. Here's the Click Dimensions dashboard. Whoops, wrong one. The report dashboard. So this actually is plugged into my system. So visitors in the past 30 days, lots from the U.S., span area of Europe, South America, Africa, Australia, India. There you go. Like I said, I would just download the different dashboards and see what you can do. Because like things like this, you can start filtering. Oops. That's what I want to do. Oops. Go back up here. You can start filtering by stores, either like same store, new store. So basically, I eliminated a chain there. So basically, I just deleted it. So again, just a really quick way to get a really good idea of where everything is from a very macro perspective. Again, this is for large data sets. So this is what the marketing and the executive people use to figure out where do we have things. Okay. I didn't have a chance to. I was going to point it at my CRM system to figure out, show me a graph of where all of my all of you guys are. If you register through GoToWebinar, it puts that information in there. If you do some of the other stuff, it doesn't do it. But I have a graph inside CRM that shows that. But I was going to put it in Power BI because I thought it'd be cool to see it on a map, but I hadn't had time. So what questions do you guys have about this? I know it's kind of quick. Anything? Does anybody have anything to share? Because I really would like to know if anybody's actually used this or is using it to do stuff. Because I think this is going to be the way that things are going. I think visualizations in CRM may be taking a turn south, but I'm not positive. What do you guys think? Anything? Any comments? No. Okay. Well, anyway, so like I said, it's free, part of Office 365. I would just configure it, point it at CRM, and then start playing around with it. And like I said, it's got a lot of potential, and I'm really kind of excited to see it work strictly because it's just going to open up the door, I think, to a lot of really cool data collection things, so that we can actually figure out some of the stuff that we have not been able to do in the past, strictly because we don't have a data warehouse built into CRM. This gets us to, at least part of the way there, if not most of the way there. Oh, Adam has a good comment. It'd be far more useful if we could pass parameters for the current user or current record. Um, yeah, that's great. I think, like I said, that Scott told me that they are working on it. He gave me some time frames. I'm not sure if those are internal or not, so I don't want to mention them. But he said that they were actually coming up with the drill through into CRM, so that we could actually click on stuff and have it open a CRM record, just like it does within CRM within stuff. Where they're live linked. I think that's really, really cool. So, but anyway, yeah. So if you guys start playing with this, I would love to hear from you. So once you send me an email, whatever you start working on, and maybe we can do a co-blog or something like that. If it's something you want to share, I would really like to see what people are doing with this. Because like I said, I really think this is going places. I'm not sure about the rest of you. Debbie asked if wonder if Power BI used for the organizational dashboard available. I don't think it's. I don't think so, Debbie. That's a good question though. I guess we could go dig that out by looking at the customizations. But that she's talking about the new organizational dashboard that's built into the spring release of 2016. Gives you some statistics about stuff. It is very possible that they did that. That never occurred to me. I may have to dig into that to see what I find. Adam, do you know if that's the case? Adam Vero? No. They're coming with the data somewhere. Oh, Adam, what Debbie was asking is, could are they using Power BI for the new organizational dashboard, the status dashboard that's built into the 2016, the new update? Could they be using Power BI for that and just not showing and just not telling us it's Power BI? Yeah, he didn't know either. Okay, so then let me dig into that. Like I said, I can you can just export the thing out maybe and somehow and take a look at it at the code. But that's a great question. I have no idea. You wouldn't think that they would reinvent the wheel too much, but they might. They would just there's some restrictions because of the way things are put together. But they got to store the data somewhere, and they do collect a lot of statistical data. If you haven't known that, they've had a that's been in there since, oh gosh, 2011. They built in statistical capturing of form load times and other things like that into the system. And they keep track of it. They just don't expose it anywhere. So now I think they've finally gotten around to exposing it to us. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're inside a CRM, talk about a segue here. If you're inside a CRM and you open a record and you do a Control Shift Q, which did something extremely unexpected, which is close Chrome. Maybe that's wrong. Anyway, Control Shift Q should open it up. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you guys something. I apologize. Hang on one second. Let me try to get this up and running. I forgot one other live demo thing, so we'll see if this works. Connected. Why am I connected? Hang on. Janice, she asked about the permissions. They don't. That's what I was saying. There is no granular stuff. So evidently, it just pulls things over as who the person is, and it just gives you that. So it doesn't actually do the same security. So again, that's planned. It's just not out right now. Okay, so this is my iPad mini that I have. It will show up. Okay, why isn't it working? Well, there we go. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sorry about that. This was. You can do it. Come on. I was going to show you this on my iPad. There is a Power BI for mobile devices, and it is actually really, really cool. But of course, my demo doesn't work for some reason. Not sure why. Still connected. Connected. Reflector is running. Anyway, so this is not going to work, I don't think. But anyway, so yeah, so assuming this would work, we would be able to see that. So, but anyway, so basically, the Power BI for the iPad is exactly like what you're seeing on the screen. It's actually really kind of freaky, quite honestly, because it is exactly the same thing, except it's on your mobile device. So it literally shows you things that you wouldn't ordinarily think would be there, but they are. So something to consider if you're getting into that, because you can really, give really good demos on your iPad if you're at customer site and stuff like that. Okay, any other questions today? Well, it's short and sweet, but I wanted to kind of give you the overview of stuff. And like I said, there's a lot of good information out there. There are tons of videos on YouTube. So if you got any questions on that, I would go out and look for YouTube stuff, and then I'll send you some links to some other stuff. Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions, then I guess I will bid you adieu. And thanks for showing up. Have a great weekend, and I'll send everybody a link to the recording later on. Thanks a lot, guys.